Jump on down. We are in game number 2 here between Faustino and Nikolich. Get you an idea of what the battlefield does look like. It looks as though Faustino does have Tron, and that's what the deck does, of course, along with a forest for Nikolich. I see a Vendilion Click. I see a Search for his Kanta. The lands, Celestial Colonnade, Hollowed Fountain, Scalding Tarn, and a Mountain with an Electrolyze and a Peak in the graveyard.
Take a little gander.
I see what's going on. I see a lot of expedition maps over there. I'm not sure if those are in the battlefield or in the graveyard. I'd love to find that out.
I'm guessing graveyard.
I'm also guessing graveyard, but I just want to be sure. Okay, in the graveyard. Ghost Quarter in hand now. Swag Tusk on the battlefield. And it looks like a Steam Vents will be found there from the Scalding Tarn. So it appears as though Faustino may have just completed Tron. Let's go back over to Nikolich, who's going to untap all those lands and consider drawing a copy of Electrolyze before placing it into the graveyard there via Search for his Kanta. So he'll draw a brand new card and simply pass the turn back. Nikolich knowing that attacking isn't really going to get me too far here. Here's a copy of Ancient Stirrings. That will resolve. Top 5 cards. Among them is a Wormcoil Engine, a couple of Forest, and a Thragtusk. Wormcoil Engine is the best selection of the bunch, according to Faustino, so she will take that. And there's also a couple of Tron lands in hand, that Ghost Quarter that she just found. And now, a little bit of mana floating here after the casting of a Chromatic Sphere. Looks like a Surgical Extraction is going to be played in response.
Whoa.
That's targeting Ancient Stirrings.
Were there 2 more in her hand?
At least one. Perhaps Vendilion Click showed those. You see Nikolich just getting a good idea of what she is working with their configuration after sideboard. A couple mental notes of that. Faustino will shuffle, present back to Nikolich. He'll give it a shuffle too, I'm sure, and then we'll continue play. As that Chromatic Sphere appears to still be on the stack. Use that for a green mana. New card coming. You can see Faustino's hand of Urza's Tower, Urza's Power Plant, Ghost Quarter, Wormcoil Engine, and a Mystery card, which I'm sure we'll see soon enough. Looks like it's a Relic of Progenitus. For Nikolich, he's sitting here with a Cryptic Command at the ready. It's a 2 mana. Now 1 floating here for a Relic. And Nikolich says, I do not want that to resolve. So Relic will be countered, Nikolich will draw. Faustino still hasn't played a land yet this turn, so totally possible for her to play a Wormcoil Engine, though I'm a little surprised that's not the case. Here's an attack. I guess she can just play a tower and play Wormcoil now. Beast token here. Wow, no land, no nothing this turn. That's very surprising. We'll head back over to Benjamin Nikolich now. Fluttershy will be placed in the graveyard, and now as Kanta will transform. Here's a Field of Ruin. And Nikolich, you can already tell, wants to activate Field of Ruin and blow up one of these Tron lands.
Yeah, got to be sure he's getting the right one, though. So he has some information about Faustino's hand and doesn't want to just tag a redundant Tron piece.
We're going to head back over to Faustino now. Here's Vendilion Click once again. Here's the hand.
So now with the information that I think the mine is the one that he can tag.
You are correct. Ghost Quarter, Power Plant Tower, Thragtusk, Wormcoil Engine. That's the grip. Thragtusk go to the bottom. New card coming. Now here's Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin is going to take care of the mine. Forest on the way.
I'm a little surprised given the circumstances. I mean, I get the argument for wanting to click here and keep Faustino off of drawing something major, but with Nikolich being this light on resources and knowing that Faustino has gotten a Ghost Quarter, I think I would have preferred trying to spend this turn activating the Azcanta at least one time.
Sure. Makes some sense to me. Here's an attack for 3. There's your trade. Tagging a, well, very, 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 very difficult game Magic is.
Okay.
Here comes a Worm Coil. That is a card, of course, Nikolich isn't terribly worried about.
It's it's good for Faustino that you reassemble Tron, but that Worm Coil doesn't necessarily amount to very much.
No, this is a deck that does have Path to Exile, Teferi, and a bevy of other ways to take care of it.
In fact, if I'm on Faustino's side, I actually might prefer just Ghost Quartering him.
Yeah.
And because it's so unlikely that being a turn ahead on the Worm Coil amounts to anything.
Let's see what this is going to be. It'll be a Relic of Progenitus. Now, this is a card that Nikolich actually went out of his way to counter last time, which clearly shows you how much he values his graveyard. Well, activate Relic. Goodbye, Vendilion Click. Here comes Worm Coil. There's a path. Easy answer. Faustino will search up a land. And we'll get that Ghost Quarter on that Azcanta soon enough, I imagine. But that does mean Nikolich will get an activation out of it, and that's something that you were concerned of.
Yeah, both these players have so little going on that I think giving Nikolich a look at a Cryptic Command or something is just the cost is too high there. A Planeswalker.
It could even be worse than that.
Yeah.
Here's a Relic activation. There go the graveyards. Draw a card, Will Faustino. Looks like it may have been a Walking Ballista. It looks like it'll be a 3/3 Walking Ballista. Here's an Azcanta activation. That'll resolve. And Cryptic Command is the selection of the card you were worried about. So Command is in. Ceremonious Rejection will take care of that. And yeah, I think now you gotta kill that thing. It's too powerful of a card to let sit around. But even one activation, as you mentioned, it might just be too many.
Yeah, that's like I said, I would have preferred just going after the Azcanta last turn when Nikolich put the shields down. I also think Nikolich should have just spun the Azcanta instead of playing the spell he played. So I am putting a higher premium on that Azcanta right now than the players down here, for better or worse.
A Tron land here for Faustino.
I like not casting the Thragtusk here. I think you want to wait until you can cast 2 spells in one turn.
Yep.
Casting anything relevant just into the jaws of that Cryptic Command mana is too inefficient.
That plays too much into Nikolich's game.
Yes.
Well, we head back over to Nikolich. So I confirm with our table spotter about maybe a little bit of a miscommunication, but everything looks to be okay. As Nikolich will pass the turn back over to Faustino. Faustino will draw, play another Tron land, and simply pass the turn back. So we head back over to Nikolich now, who does have Cryptic Command in hand. He'll play a Sacred Foundry tap, pass the turn back, so we'll do a little bit of this draw-go stuff. Which, of course, as we know, Patrick, Tron, well, they have the more powerful spells of the two, but Nikolich's deck is no slouch.
So that's a good sign there for Faustino that he played the Sacred Foundry tapped. Playing it untapped means he has access to 2 Cryptic Commands. You already know about the one, So that means if you can set up 2 spells in 1 turn, you have reason to believe you're good.
Yep. What do we have here? Is this Ulamog, perhaps? Yes.
Go after the blues.
Yeah. I like going after the blues and the whites. Colonnade and Hollowed Fountain seem like nice targets to me. Looks like it's going to be Sacred Foundry and Colonnade. Cryptic Command is a good idea. Don't let that resolve. Now I'm happy to cast Thragtusk.
Yep.
2 spells in 1 turn is where I want to be. And there is Thragtusk. And it appears as though that will resolve. Good setup there. And draw. There's a Flooded Strand. Let's go back over to Faustino. Remember, all the Ancient Stirrings are gone. Looks like maybe Thought Knot Seer was the draw. I'm going to start here with an attack. Path to Exile will take care of the first part of that. Beast Token on the way so long as she does remember the trigger. Basic force there. There's that Beast Token. That might be it for Annelise's turn. It looks like Nikolich is going to sacrifice the Flooded Strand. Ooh, get himself an untapped Steam Vent. Okay. I don't know what's going on with this. Remember, he does like to play cards like Secure the Waste and Sphinx of Revelation, but he's not doing that nowadays. Here's a Snapcaster Mage.
Okay, that explains it. Snapcaster Cryptic.
Yep. Bounce that, draw a card. Clear out all aspects of the Thragtusk. Nikolich, time to get busy in that life total. 25.
A long way to go.
Draw a card. Hello, Thought Knot Seer. I think Thought Knot Seer might be meeting Cryptic Command in a moment, as Nikolich will sacrifice a Flooded Strand. Nikolich will get a basic Plains off that Flooded Strand. That's an eligible land to get. Down to 10 falls Benjamin. Kryptos. Counter draw. Thought Knot Seer. Hello. Let's do it again.
Yeah, Nikolich looking. I think he's looking at Surgical in hand. He might want to fire off here. Yeah, seeing if he can Logic Knot.
Negate, Surgical, and I think Logic Knot. Faustino going to write down the cards here. Weigh some options. Just 1 card left in hand for Anneliese. Don't have a great look at what it is, though. I think that may have been a Snapcast. That's a Logic Knot. Okay, I was right.
Yeah, it looks like Nikolich still has enough stuff in the graveyard to counter a potential Ulamog, Worldbreaker, Walking Ballista style threat. So I think Faustino wants to, the negate's going to work against a range of her big draws, but the Logic Knot covers everything big right now.
O-Stone, the play. Negate did not take care of it. The draw there for Nikolich actually was another copy of Logic Knot, oddly enough. So put a fake counter there. And I'm really curious to see how aggressive she wants to be with the O-Stone, because you have the ability to just blow it up, right, and say, I want to get you.
Faustino, in this match and in the one we covered in the Swiss, showed a lot of patience in winning positions.
Sure.
She was not trying to just edge out one good turn. She was trying to prevent the big top decks and really leverage the fact that her draw steps are just so much better than Nikolich's over the long term.
Well, here comes the Buzzsaw again. Ulamog. It looks like it's going to be Steam Vents and Colonnade, perhaps.
Yeah, Colonnade you have to get
Mhm.
because that's something that can trade with the Thought Knot Seer. After that, as long as you're going after the blues, I'm good with it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we can Logic Knot for 10 here pretty easy. I have to remove quite a few cards from the graveyard, but it can be done. It's actually going to have to be for 11. So there we go. Nikolich is working his way there. But Nikolich will be without Colony no matter what happens here.
Right.
So Ulamog handled. Those lands need to leave, and they do. And here comes Thought Knots here. Nikolich down to 6. Again, he's got Negate and Surgical in hand. But we might be getting to the point here where he won't actually be able to use the Surgical. Fate counter there on the O-Stone. Faustino will untap. She will draw in with Thought Knot Seer. Nikolich is going to fall down to 2. Pass the turn back. Nikolich has got maybe one more draw step on the weekend, and that is going to do it. Anneliese Faustino is going to win this match here yet again over Benjamin Nikolich, 2-0. Mono Green Tron going to take care of Jeskai Control. Another great tournament.